And let's go. Okay, beautiful, beautiful morning. It's like one of those mornings where the sun's like golden sunshine this morning. So I'm just coming here. I feel inspired this morning to make another video. And last time went kind of off, like 25 minutes. So I'm just trying to keep this nice, short, and to the point. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about my period of radicalization and enlightenment in Williston, North Dakota, and how we got to this point that we're at right now. Back in 2014, I moved from Grand Junction, Colorado to Williston, North Dakota. Part of the Bakken oil boom, as they would call it. The Bakken is a region that covers the Badlands of North Dakota into eastern Montana. And I went up there, as an adventure. I was divorced at the time. My kids were, I think, still in high school, and they gave me the go ahead to go up there. And so I left. And Grand Junction went up to Williston, North Dakota, and I got a job as a maintenance technician at an apartment complex. Excuse me, my nose was itching. And so I'm working there, and this is the incident that radicalized me. Let's just get to the point. Let's get to the radicalization incident first, and so let people kind of understand what my mindset is. Um, this incident happened. It was like a Sunday afternoon. Now, like I said, I was a maintenance technician at an apartment complex, and so we had these like a better term, tweakers, drug heads, or whatever, were kind of hanging out at our dumpster, and the neighbors were calling like, hey, there's some like strange people out by the dumpster, like going by through the dumpster, like, what the fuck, right? And so as a maintenance technician, I go down there, and actually I kind of have seen these people before. I mean, it's a pretty small town, Williston, North Dakota. It's like 30,000 people. And so I'm like, yo, y'all gotta like stop loitering around here. Y'all don't live around here, acting all sketchy around the dumpster, and people are calling like y'all gotta leave, right? So they wouldn't leave, and started getting kind of mouthy. These are white folks up there in Williston, North Dakota. You know what I'm saying? And, like I said, let me get to the radicalization point. Then I'll get to the psychological stuff next. And so I called my manager, called the leasing consultant, and they were all there. Just like, well, let's just call the cops on them, and get them thrown out of here. I said, yeah, they don't want to leave voluntarily. I said, all right, cool, let's go. So she dials 911, and guess what? The people that were trying to get off the property, they call 911 too. Because you know why? Because white people can do that. They can rectify a situation very quickly by calling the cops on you if you're black. And that's the reality of life in America. That's the power that white people have in America, that they can do that. So they simultaneously call the cops too. And as they're on the phone with dispatch, they're telling the cops that I threatened to kill them, and I had a baseball bat and I was beating on doors and threatened to kill them, and they feared for their life. So the cops roll up there, and they come to me first like, hey, what did I hear about you trying to kill somebody with a baseball bat, blah, blah. And I'm looking at this cop going, dude, I work here. This is my job, okay? I work here. I live there on the apartment complex, and I work there too. And my boss and my leasing consultant are there. They're like, yeah, well, we call the cops to get those people off our property, right? So a little cop rolls up to me, I forgot his name. And he rolls up on me, questioning me like all stern and all like he hear about. I'm like, oh shit. And so I kind of get things squared away. My coworkers vouch for me or whatever. And so as they're getting these people out of our building and out of the building, I'm standing there and I'm flanked by two cops, Williston, North Dakota police officers, sworn police officer. One of them, Sergeant Eisenhower. I forgot the other guy's name. I forgot his name. I got to look through I should have gotten my case number too. But anyway, let's keep rolling with this, okay? Because we're 4 minutes into this. So, I'm standing there and I'm flanked by two cops, two heroes, two of the police, that, protect and serve, right? So this white boy walks by me in front of two cops. And this is what he says to me. He says, if these two cops weren't here, you know what I'd be doing to you right now? I'd be dragging your ass behind a pickup truck. That's what he told me, right? That's what he told me. I kept my cool because I knew if I would have jumped on him or whatever, these cops were going to kill me. I knew that. I was smart enough to know that. But I said, look, man, from here on out, just so we all know, next time I see you, I got to work on the assumption that you just threatened my life. Got it? Cops basically told me to shut the fuck up, right? I said, oh, wow, this is something, I'm like, whoa, this is some old Mississippi 1954 shit, but it gets better. So, me being the civic-minded person that I am, wherever I live, I'm like, nah, man, I ain't letting this go. So, on the Williston Police Department's Facebook page, I filed a complaint. On it, I put what just happened, the same story I just told you. Like, this is a bunch of bullshit, basically. This man just threatened my life, basically committed a crime in front of two cops, and the cops are questioning me about a crime that never happened. Is anybody following this, right? I'm getting questioned about a crime that never happened, and this guy just committed a crime in front of two cops. So I filed a complaint digitally with the Williston Police Department through Messenger on Facebook at the time I was using it. So I filed a complaint. Then I called the next day and said, look, I want to talk to someone. I want to file a complaint. I want to talk to somebody about this shit that happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm pissed. I'm at my job. I'm doing my job. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there bothering nobody. I'm out there looking for trouble, nothing. I'm out there working, earning my money, okay? And so they said, no, you have to file a formal written complaint or whatever, right? So I filed this complaint. And so this was maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. I'm at my apartment complex working, right? And I happened to be like one floor up and a few doors down from my own apartment because I lived on the side of the apartment complex. And I'm like, wow, man, damn, where all these cops coming from? Man, what's going on in the building? I'm the maintenance technician at the building. I work for the property management company. Oh, shit, wait a minute. Those cops coming into my building. Damn, what's going on? So the next thing you know, I hear my dog barking downstairs. I'm very close proximity to my apartment. And these guys are beating down my door. They're like 6 deep, like I was a mass murderer. Coming beating on my door. So in Williston, North Dakota and Williams County, you can look online and see whether there's a warrant out for you or who's in jail or whatever. So I'm upstairs going, oh, why do I have a warrant out for my arrest? What did I do? I don't do anything. What are you talking about? I look on the website. I'm like, oh my God. There's a warrant out for my arrest for felony, what do they call it? Felony menacing. Because these people fabricated some story about me having a baseball bat and trying to kill them, right? So, granted, when the cops did the initial investigation, if I would have been beaten on the door with a bat, there would have been some indentations, some markings or something like that, taking some pictures or something, you know what I'm saying? There was no baseball bat. Actually, I did have a baseball bat in my apartment, and I don't know how that came into play. These people just kind of, like I said, just made up a story. Actually, one of them had been inside my apartment and had seen the baseball bat. Come to think of it, one of them had been inside my apartment at one time. Like they had come there to get me as a maintenance man or something like that. And maybe I sat and chatted with them too long or something. But so I'm going, oh my God. So these people are beating down my door. I'm like going, oh my God, what is going on? These people, why do I have this warrant out for my arrest? And so I gather myself and I just stay in the apartment where I'm at because the apartment where I'm at is not my apartment. So I know they can't come up there and look for me. They can't come up there and look for me because their search warrant is going to be specifically for my apartment. So they didn't enter my apartment. They didn't bust the door down or anything like that, but I knew they were coming back. So in between time, I just kind of hid out in this apartment. I called my manager. My manager's going, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. Like these people have a warrant out for my arrest. She witnessed the whole thing. She's like, oh shit. This is a white woman from Mississippi. She's freaking out, right? And so I know they're going to come back. So basically, I just hid out because I'm the maintenance man. It's a 3-building apartment complex. I'm a maintenance man, so I got all the keys to the empty apartments, whatever. I can hide out indefinitely because this is a bunch of bulljive. And be quite honest with you, I thought these people were going to kill me. I said, if these people are wicked enough and corrupt enough to have someone sign a warrant for my arrest for a crime that didn't happen, murder wasn't far off either. So I hid out and I figured what was my best move. I said I could skip town and never go to Williston, North Dakota again. There'd be a felony warrant out for my arrest for the rest of my life. And why would I run anyway? Because I didn't commit a crime. But you had to understand my mindset. That this was what I imagined what it would feel like in, say, 1920s Louisiana. That type of oppression by law enforcement that could be brought down upon you where you had no power whatsoever. That white people could just snatch you up, said you did something, and string you up to a tree. That's the level of oppression that I felt. That was coming down on me. And I said, I could just run. I could leave Williston, North Dakota, never come back here again. Go back to South Carolina, whatever. It's bull. But why would I run? I'm innocent. So let's scratch that off. So I called. Luckily, my company was a big regional property management company. We had an EAP thing or whatever, and I was able to call a lawyer. Saying the lawyer said the same thing. Oh my God, this is fucking crazy. This is a bunch of bullshit. I mean, these people are having a fit. They're going, oh my God. And so I knew they were going to come back. So I still stayed in this empty apartment. And sure enough, like when they thought that I would be off from work at 5 o'clock, they knew where I lived. So here they come again. They must have come like 10 cars deep looking for me. They were all in my garage, hands on, guns beating on my door. And I was like, oh shit. So I called my sister, called one of my sisters, and my sister said, Junior, go and turn yourself in, because these people catch you out on the streets, they are going to murder you. They're going to kill you. And I felt the same sentiment too. So I spent the night in that empty apartment, absolutely terrified that something was going to happen to me. My life may end very soon. I was up here in Williston, North Dakota by myself. I had a few friends up there, but I didn't know anybody. I'm a long way away from any family, anybody. And let me tell you something, in Williston, North Dakota, you can disappear there and nobody ever find you. Yeah. And so the next morning I called my buddy Mo. Mo was one of the good dudes, straight up hard brother, man. This guy was an ex-paratrooper. He had did a bid in prison, but Mo would knock you out. Mo would make it do what it do. And I trusted this guy in my life. I said, Mo, drive me to the police station. Escort me into the police station. When they take me into custody and you can leave, at least somebody will know where I am, what happened to me, whatever, right? Before I turned myself in, I called the FBI office in Minot, North Dakota, and I left a message and I told them what had happened. If anything happens to me, I turn up dead, this is what happened. I called a lawyer, left a message on his answer machine. I think somewhere else. So just in case anything happened to me, somebody would know what happened. It wouldn't be like, oh, well, he was running down the road high on something and we had to shoot him down and drag him, No. I wanted to make sure that if something happened to me, somebody knew. And so I called my sisters, I called my two sisters, I called my three boys, my three sons. I told them that I was going to go and turn myself in. And I was going to fight this. And one of the main reasons I was going to fight this was so that my sons knew that their dad was not a coward. Understand what I'm saying? That was a real man. I'm not talking about I'm no tough guy going out there fighting people or nothing like that. But one thing they know, I ain't scared of nothing. I know God is on my side. And I was not afraid to go up against the state of North Carolina, these white folks up there in North Dakota. I was not scared one bit. And so I turned myself in. They kept me in jail for 4 days before they gave me a bond hearing. And so I knew in order for me to, luckily, I got the dude I was in the cell with this brother from I think it was from Kenya, this African dude, a lot of West Africans up there, right? And he was the guy I was in the cell with. And so I had somebody to talk to because it was a white dude I wanted to talk to him. Because when I got out of the cell, I figured my key to survival was to intimidate the guards, to intimidate the correction officers, and have them. This one of the techniques I learned about kind of like handling people. Make people think twice before they approach you. Make them think twice before they approach you. So what I would do, those 4 days that I was in jail, 'cause I didn't know. White folks might go and kill me. I don't know. So what I did, I didn't say anything. Didn't talk. Outside of that cell, I wouldn't talk. And I just walked there and I sit there and I just stare at people. And I stare at the CEOs, like just sit there and stare at them like, man, white boy, if you try something with me, I'm going to murder you. You know what I'm saying? If y'all come in here and try some stuff with me, I'm going to kill you. I would not say a word to him, just give him that look like a straight up lethal gangster glare, like you do not want to try this. It's not going to end peacefully for you, you know? And that's how I figured I would survive in those 4 days I was in jail. So they let me out. They tried to get me out on like $10,000 bond, and they're like, nah, blah, blah, no, man. So they let me out on my own personal recognizance. This was like in May, April. And so I said, I went back to work. I said, I want to fight this. They didn't give me any legal representation. They didn't give me public defender for my pretrial. So you know what I did? I wrote up my own motion to dismiss. Went to the courthouse. You know, I graduated from Clemson, okay? I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of my life. I'm not being elitist or anything like that. But I think I'm smart enough to know what I got to do to survive and maneuver in tactical positions like that when people are trying to take away my freedom and my liberty. You know what I'm saying? And so I filed a motion to dismiss. I said, I mean, this is bullshit. Nope, they wouldn't do that. And I mean, the prosecutor came up there and made it sound like I was some kind of mass murdering nigga or some shit that came into their town. And so what I did was I started, like it said, they did give me a public defender. Luckily, this really nice young white girl, you know what I'm saying? She was like, actually, she was a bad bitch though. Come think about it, she was bad, bo. Like she was like one of them Nordic thick up chicks, bo. She was bad, bo. Anyway, got on a whole another tangent. See, I'm not racist, okay? But anyway, but so what I would do is I'd go down to the police station, and like the three people that were involved in accusing me of this crime and all that, I would ask for their police records and any kind of police contact they do. I mean, one of them I paid like $50 for all the copies of their police records because it was so long. And I was like, told my lawyer, like, yo, subpoena her mother, subpoena this person, subpoena that people, blah, 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 you know. And they knew they didn't have a case, you know. They didn't even offer me a plea deal. And they just eventually just dropped the case. I mean, I fought it for like 6 months. They didn't offer me a plea deal, and once I was like, nah. I feel like, because from the beginning, I told her, nah, man, I'm taking this to the box. You know, we're going to trial with this. I'm taking my chance with the jury. I ain't pleading this nothing. I'm not pleading guilty to no felony that ever happened. Yo, you crazy? And so, I by the grace of God, they dropped the charges on me, and that what I went through was absolutely radicalized me. When I left that courtroom, I told that judge it will not be peaceful next time. Next time someone tries to take away my freedom and my liberty from me, it will not be peaceful. It will not end peacefully. Either they go, I go. I know what it feels like to have someone's knee on your neck. I know what it feels like. The state of North Dakota, the Williston Police Force, these crooked ass crackers up there, excuse me for that, absolutely radicalized me. And not to a place of hate, but to a place of maybe action and maybe help find some peace in this world. But the key to it is that we all have to embrace the fact, black people and white people, because until all of us are free, none of us are free. Until all of us are free, none of us are free. That we recognize this race thing for what it is. It's a fiction, a mythology. It's something people made up. It is artificial. It is unnatural. It goes against the universal law of God. And we must call it that for what it is. It's unnatural. It's evil. It is wicked. And it was created by white people for the benefit of white people. And as simple as that. And you can call me racist. You call me a hate monger or whatever the case may be. If you go through the history of human history, that's who invented it. Okay? Let's just be frank about it. Let's just stop with the lies and this with all this pushback against telling the truth, because it just doesn't make any sense. It does our society no good whatsoever for us to keep lying about stuff that's not true. And the biggest lie of them all is this thing called white supremacy, white superiority. The whole concept of white is made up. It's all up here, people. It's all up there. And once you get that out of your mind, we can all be free. Black and white. Okay, gotta go. 5 minutes over.